what does crawl mean? We follow all the links on all the websites and collect that information and index it. Along with that information, we also have specific domain information from Connie's website, from the Federal Preservation Institute, regarding all those laws and all the topics that are being discussed. Our next phase will be threaded discussion. So you see multiple sources. With other customers, we're also including document management systems like PC Docs. For one of the law firms that we work with, they take all their legal cases and they put it into PC Docs. The problem with their system is that they can only search, for instance, the Houston office, and they can't search the DC office. They can't do a global search, and they have a very difficult time using that type of search. People who normally send out an email, and you've probably experienced this yourself, says, has anybody out there done any kind of law on IP, intellectual property? And then you get all these emails back and forth, and then you get copied, and then this huge distribution goes around, and it's very disruptive, right? Well, they can now do it using a vertical search to find what they need. Connie's doing the same thing with preservation. In fact, she goes on to these threaded discussions sometimes, and people are asking the same thing, and she says, have you tried searching on the Historic Preservation Portal? And by the way, this is what I found. You may want to try it yourself. So this is what we're doing, what has evolved, and what we're calling vertical search. When we do this search, you click on the link, and it goes to one of those 800 websites and just pulls up that information. So if you have, we had 18 people, 18 members on the governing committee. Previous to this portal, each one was doing their own historic preservation website. Every one of them, each with a cost multiplied by 18. So we've consolidated that. You remember who was the guy who was head of the eGov initiatives? He said reuse the information. We're taking that information plus another 800 and reusing it and sharing the costs across the board. And so now 20,000 practitioners are able to share this knowledge very, very efficiently. Okay. Any questions so far? So what I wanted to do was touch upon these 6 items as some of the lessons learned. I know that some of you are here to learn, besides the network, also learn about knowledge management. So I wanted to share with you some of the things we did in these areas. First off, we wanted to use a new technology that came out within the past decade called concept searching. We looked at the keyword area like Google, and we didn't find that it was good enough for our purposes. The people in the field where preservation was just 5% of their job, they wanted to be able to just type out a sentence or a question and get the answers back. Well, we felt that the concept searching engine would do just that. You just type in natural language. You didn't have to know how to do Boolean operators, ors, ands, and parentheses. You just type it out and you get it back. And we're getting a lot of success with it. Okay. And I put here, it's good even when you don't know what you're looking for. What if you don't know the keyword, right? Well, you could probably describe it. So that's what people do. They just describe it. They type in, this is what we're looking for. It's this color, it's this shape, and then voila, it comes up. Okay. On the gathering data side, this is probably one of the most important steps. Multiple sources. What you'll find out there today are lots of connectors, as they're called. The one in the historic preservation we call a spidering program because it crawls the web. It's our little spider that's crawling the web. And the lady who configures all the spiders for us is called Spider Woman. That's what we call her. This little human there. But a lot of times it goes after HTTP data. What that means for the non-techies is websites. Anything where you can link to. We're going to crawl all that information and we're going to collect it. One of the sites I'm going to show you in a minute is the Poynter Institute. We cut our teeth on that system and it searches 221 journalism sites. So it's domain specific to journalism. but it goes across the country, and you can even limit your search to a section of the United States. This is not a trivial task, and over the years we even developed a